Okay, so we've had a few days of the G1. Let's talk about where the blocks look like as of today, July 24th. So, let's start with A block. Now, I was surprised by one thing so far, which is Jeff Cobb losing to Kazuchika Okada in the first match. So, what that means is that Okada's now at 2-0, Jeff Cobb has taken a loss, and in spite of my initial predictions in my last video, I now no longer think that Jeff Cobb's really going to be a factor in the A block. A block, as of now, and this might sound strange to you, is I think a two-person block. You've got Lance Archer and you've got Kazuchika Okada. Why am I saying that? Well, once again, always you want to look at the final day of the block, and you're going to see that the last match of the A block is in fact Kazuchika Okada versus Lance Archer. So, it seems to me that the way things are right now, you're building up towards a showdown between those two. Cobb, I thought, was going to be a factor with him and Tom Lawler having a square off on the second last day, but I don't know. I don't think he's got... This is his G1 now, after taking that big loss to Okada. That one really surprised me, because after his, near flawless block last time, well, I thought he was going to do something, but, well, not your year, Jeff. Sorry about that. So, that's how I feel A block is going. Now, I still think Okada's going to win the block, but I don't think he's going to go through it with no losses whatsoever. So an interesting question to ask about A block is, well, who's going to take a win off of Kazuchika Okada? Oh, I just noticed my Kenny figurine fell down. Let me get him back up there. Okay, there we go. So, he's got a couple of matches left. He beat Yano, and I thought Yano might be a guy to take him a loss off of him, but nope. So he's got Bad Luck Fale, he's got Jonah, he's got Tom Lawler, and he's got Lance Archer. Now, I definitely think he's beating Lance Archer on the last day. So, Jonah, Tom Lawler, or Bad Luck Fale. I don't think it'll be Bad Luck Fale because, well, number one, Bad Luck Fale's already gotten his obligatory big win over Lance Archer, right, in his first match, so I don't think it'll be Bad Luck Fale. I don't see much purpose in doing that. Jonah, it's his first G1, and, well, he's a bit... Out of everyone in the A block, he's probably the biggest nobody, right? I sort of was surprised he even got into this G1. I hadn't even heard of him before this G1, if I'm being honest. I don't watch Strong that much. But I do watch Strong enough to know that, well, there's Filthy Tom Lawler. And fans of this website I'm on right now, the Wrestling Observer, will probably be shocked to hear me say this, but I think that Filthy Tom Lawler is going to take a win off of Kazuchika Okada on August 10th in Hiroshima, right? That's going to be my bold prediction for the A block. So, yeah, that's how I think things are still going. Don't get me wrong, I still think Okada will take his block, but I'm thinking he's going to lose to Filthy. That's my prediction there. But anyway, let's take a look at B block. So, Jay White won both of his matches, and I was thinking that he was going to lose to either Sonata or to Tomohiro Ishii, but he's beaten both, and he's looking pretty damn strong. Both those two matches are probably the best matches of the tournament so far. I think Jay White is awesome, right? Everyone knows he's awesome, but somehow he's still underrated, right? It's a strange thing. But nevertheless, he is starting to look good here, right? And no one has a tiebreaker over him anymore. So, two things. Initially, I thought Sonata was going to win this block, and he still could, but now, after seeing what I've seen, I kind of think Jay White's going to win his block, right? It used to be that generally you didn't want the champion to win the block most of the time because, right, it's to set up a number one contender at the Tokyo Dome, right? And, you don't really want that match to be a rematch, so you generally don't want the champion to be in the finals. So that was the thing before, but, I've been thinking about it, and, well, there are semifinals now, and, well, why not have the champ in the semifinals? So I think Jay is going to take the B block now. It's really do. I mean, look at his remaining opponents. He's got Taichi, he's got Great Khan, he's got Chase Owens, he's got Tama Tonga. Now, I definitely think Tama Tonga is going to beat him, right? I've been on record of that. That's his last match in the block, Tama Tonga versus Jay White. And, well, considering the storyline between those two, definitely think that Tama is going to take a win off of him then. Taichi might beat him. I would love to see him beat him because I love Taichi, but we'll see, right? Yeah, I don't know if Taichi's up to that right now, and there is a sort of obnoxiousness when Taichi and Jay White fight each other because they both have similar heel things where they leave the ring and all of that stuff. So I don't know if it's the best thing for a championship match. Great-O-Khan, man, it would be the biggest win of his life if he beat Jay White. I don't think he's ready for it yet, even though he's a hero and a genuinely amazing person. I don't think he should be beating Jay White just now. And then Chase Owens, I mean, I think he has even less of a chance than Great-O-Khan. So, yeah, I think my prediction for B block has shifted after seeing what I've seen. I think Jay White's going to win his block, but he's going to lose his last match, right? He's going to lose to Tama Tonga on that last day. And Tama Tonga will get himself his title match and get a win over Jay White, who's tormented him for so long. But Jay White will then go on to the semifinals. So that's my feeling about the B block right now. C block. Whew, this one. So, Zach's sitting at the top right now, and Naito sitting at the bottom. Naito and Tanahashi had an amazing match just now, and I loved it. I love Tanahashi, but in spite of what you might see at the standings, here's what they'll say first. Naito has a better chance of taking the block than Tanahashi does, right? Reason why I know that is because of, well, look at the last matches, right? Tanahashi doesn't even have a match on the last day, right? So I don't really expect him to really factor in at the finals of the G1, right? Because, again, August 16th, Budokan Hall, no Tanahashi match. His last match is against Kenta on August 14th, so sorry, Tanahashi, I don't think you're going to make it. That being said, right, how can Naito win? Let's see what his remaining matches are. So he's got Zack Sabre Jr. on the last day, right? That should tell you a lot in and of itself. But beyond that, right, so today he faced Naito. On July 31st, he's fighting Evil. On August 5th, he's fighting Aaron Hanare. And on August 9th, he's fighting Kenta. All three of those matches are matches that I would expect him to win, right? Evil, it's the classic LIJ stupidness. I expect this to be an awful match. I expect Dick Togo. I expect bullshit. So that's not going to be a good match, but I think Naito's going to win it. So, yay. Aaron Hanare, yeah, Hanare upset Tanahashi, but I don't think that's... I mean, it's great that he gets a win like that. Good for him, good for his career, right, and everything like that, but that's... I don't think he's going to get Naito too. And then Kenta, I mean, that one... I mean, they have history too, right? Remember this damn thing with Kenta coming out at the Tokyo Dome? That was obnoxious. So, you know, they have history too, but I expect Naito to win there as well. So, basically, if Naito wins all of his matches from here on out, he will still be able to win his block, right? So, if you're one of those Naito fans, don't lose hope. Meanwhile, Tanahashi, by the way, let's see how he's doing with his final set of matches. Or not final, we're still like 2 matches in. So he's going to face Zack Sabre Jr. And if you know the history between these two, I mean, I'm pretty certain that Zack Sabre Jr. is going to tap him out, right? In a very fantastic match, right? So Tanahashi will claim a win over Zack Sabre Jr. or lose to Zack Sabre Jr. And then it's against Evil. And man, Tanahashi never does well against the Evil bullshit, right? You know, Dick Togo, all of that stuff, right? He's sort of, you know, I feel that they like putting Tanahashi against Evil just so that he can be victim to it and people can hate Evil more. So that's going to be a loss as well. Then he's got Hiroki Goto and Kenta, right? I think he'll beat Goto, right? I know he lost to Goto last year and that was weird. I don't know why he did, but I think he's going to get that back this time. And then you've got Kenta, and this is going to be building off of that Tokyo Dome match with the Evil ladder and, you know, all of the bruises and broken bones that Kenta came out of that with, and I think that's Kenta's match to win. So basically, if he loses those 3 matches, right, then he's going to be held down at 6 points, and he's going to be a non-factor, right? Tiebreaker over Naito or not, right? So, and I think that's probably what's going to happen to him, right? I don't know. I love Tanahashi. I wish he would win just all of his matches that he's always in, but I'm pretty sure that's where that's going there. So what that means is that Zack Sabre Jr., right, and Naito are our standouts from C Block. It's sort of weird to be saying that, right, because you see Zack Sabre Jr. right up here for 4 points, 2-0. Naito 0 points, hasn't beaten anyone, but it's building towards that, right, with Naito running up, and Zack Sabre Jr., right, he can afford to lose 2 matches himself, right, and still be in play, right, and he's got people that he will probably lose to, like, let's see, who's he got? Naito on the last day, right, he beat Kenta, beat Aaron Hanare, Tanahashi he'll beat, but Goto could, if you want to give Goto something, he could beat Zack Sabre Jr., Evil, I see him taking a stupid loss to that because, House of Torture, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I hate House of Torture. I can see Zack taking a loss to that, but nevertheless, it's going to be Naito and Zack Sabre Jr. on the last day, and my prediction is still that Zack Sabre Jr. is going to go through, but, that's what we're building towards, so don't let the score deceive you. Then finally, D-Block. Juice Robinson beating Shingo was probably considered a shock and all of that, right? Him having the win there, but I don't think it changes anything because this is still the Will Ospreay and Shingo Takagi block, right? And I believe it's August 10th. Yes, there it is. Where we get... Where is it August 10th? Where's Shingo versus Will Ospreay? Let's find that. It's probably the most important match of the D block. Huge. No, that's not what we want. Yeah, so August 6th in Osaka, Shingo Takagi versus Will Ospreay, right? That's going to be a really important match, right? Because it's essentially going to be those two in the block. I expect Shingo to win, and the narrative I'm sort of expecting as we get to the end here is we'll see that where is it? Ospreay's last match in the block is going to be against Juice Robinson, and Juice is being well positioned here to be the spoiler, right? To give Ospreay a loss after he, was lacking a tiebreaker to Shingo, and then that will allow Shingo to go through, and that will lead nicely into the whole U.S. title feud that those two have going, and which was probably going to be resolved sometime between now and the Tokyo Dome. So that's what I'm expecting from the D block. So no changes there, even though you might think Juice has got something. No, Juice is going to be a spoiler, not win the block. So, all in all, it's been a great tournament so far. Really great matches. I love what Jay White's doing. Okada is Okada, of course. So those are my two standouts so far. And my pick to win the whole thing is still Kazuchika Okada. I think the only block that I'm swaying on is B block, right? I thought it was Sonata's block, but after what Jay White's been doing, kind of thinking it's Jay White's block. But even then, Okada's going to win the whole tournament. Anyway, so this is a great tournament, and you should be watching it if you want. And yeah, I'll make another of these videos in a week or two. Thanks for watching.